Okay guys, this is Ray Waldo, the Bishop of Technology, and rather than doing some highly technical stuff today, I'm going to do some real mechanical. This is the spindle housing, and spindle off of my Exmark riding ZeroTurn lawnmower. And so the bearings are getting bad, it's starting to roar, and so I decided to order the bearings. I ordered them from Amazon. It was $129 or something like that. And be sure when you order, I got these from Parts Tree. These are the O-rings, and you need a dozen of them, and they're cheaper at Parts Tree. $15 for for the O-rings and shipping, and about $130 for the bearings. You're also going to need a 1.5 inch deep well socket, not a regular socket. It has to be deep well, and should be the black impact wrench because it's going to be tough. All right, and because to get that size socket, you got to get it in 3/4 drive. You'll need an adapter, 3/4 to 1/2, because your impact wrench most likely is a 1/2 inch drive. Okay, so you're going to need that to remove this bolt off the top of here. All right, so you lock this down into a vise if you have one, or a pipe wrench if you don't, and put this on here, and put your impact wrench in here, and start hitting it, and eventually it'll break loose. If you got a good strong impact wrench and it's on high, it'll break loose, and when it's loose, you can just spin it. Then once you got it loose, and you spin this, then the other end will come out. Okay, and in here you have this E-ring, okay, with the little eyelets. Okay, you've got to have a super strong tool. I got this at Harbor Freight. Open it up, and it will do it. Then you put a screwdriver in the side, lock it in, and then start working it out, and it'll come around. Okay, so having done that, this one's still in together. This one over here, I've already started to working on, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but down inside there are O-rings. There's 2 on this bearing and 2 on this bearing, and whether you really have to change those O-rings or not, I don't know, but I recommend it. I mean, something that's rubber and used, and the ones that I took out they look pretty flaky to me. I mean, some of them looked a little bit bright, but most of them were dirty and hard, and so I recommend to put them in there. All right, so if you're going to put them in there, take one of your O-rings, wet it down a little bit with personal lubricant. Don't use the oil-based lubricants because they deteriorate the rubber. I think these might be rubber, might be petroleum proof, but anyway, I use personal lubricant. Set them in there. The first couple you put in there, you're going to swear that you got the wrong size. I did. Well, I didn't swear. But anyway, you're going to say, okay, I got the wrong size, because it just won't go. They keep too much hanging out. Just keep working it, keep working it. Eventually, you're going to get them all in there. Run your finger around. You can feel it real smooth all the way in. They've gone inside, and now the pressure of that extra space is pushing against the insides of the housing. Once you've done that, then there's another little cute thing. These have been in the freezer. These have been outside. These are cold. These are hot. Science says metal will expand when it gets hot. It'll also contract when it gets cold. So these are about as large as they're going to get without heating them up with a torch or something. I'm not going to do that with rubber in there. And these are about as cold as they can get because they had them in the freezer. All right, so you just put them in there, and because they're cold, they slide right down, see? It's almost all the way right there. And just tap it a little bit when you get through, turn it over, do the same thing. There is a spacer that goes in the center. Be sure don't forget that. And then put your other one in on this side. And when you do that, make sure they're all the way in. Then you turn it back over, do your E-ring, put it in, and you'll figure it out how to do that. It's not really difficult. Just put one end in, start working it, tap it down, and you get that in. Once you got that in, put this on, and then you'll screw on your, well, you put the shaft in there, and when you got the shaft in, screw this on top, and then lock it down with the same tool that you took it off with, and you've got a totally rebuilt shaft for about, well, Exmark sells the whole assembly for for $450. You can buy aftermarket for about $129, I think, for the whole assembly, which you might want to do. But I'm thinking, you know, $129 for each, that's almost, well, it's about $400 for 3 of them. And the bearings didn't cost but $130 and $150 here. Even with the tools, I didn't come close to that. Certainly can't buy the Exmarks. And with this has the Exmark housing. It's probably a lot more heavy duty than the aftermarket thing is. And these are Sten bearings. They are good bearings, or supposed to be. So I think I'm going back almost to new quality, whereas with the aftermarket $129 spindle, maybe easy, maybe it's not as good. I don't know. Anyway, that's the way you do it. Now you change the spindle and have just like new. All right, talk to you later. Bye.